We were speaking to Rob Harris, AP's global sports correspondent. We had a problem with his line. We'll get that back in just a moment. But if you're joining us now for the first time, you would have heard Ben Fletcher break the news, actually, that Chelsea's shirt sponsor, well, they've suspended their deal with the club, so the 3 logo is going to be removed from the shirt and also from around the grounds. You asked an interesting question there. Is this the start of many sponsorship deals pulling out of the club?
Because that's what usually what happens, isn't it? We've seen it before in various other avenues where all it takes is that first one to kind of go make a decision, and all of a sudden, I mean, it's like a dominoes effect, isn't it? Other people start questioning their own integrity and start going, well, should we be involved with this? Then they start pulling the plug, because all it takes, as I said, is the very first one, and then all of a sudden,
there are so many. I mean, this is such a bizarre situation. We've never really seen this before. I can't remember seeing it of a club on this scale in my lifetime. I just wonder, one of the questions will obviously be what happens if and when this club gets sold sooner rather than later. Does someone like 3
come back?
Yeah, do they come back? I would imagine they do. But then you've also got the problems that, and we see it so often, if there's a problem with a player at a club or he leaves or whatever, and the new shirts come out and you've bought the shirt, they give you your money back, and you've got there'll be now Chelsea fans with the shirt with the logo on. Do they want to exchange that for a shirt without the logo? They can't. The club shop is shut. It's all very up in the air. It's all very bizarre. And this deal is going to be worth, I think, something like £40 million was left on it.
But again, that's the whole domino effect, as you said there, because what do they do if you've got the 3 on the front of the shirt and they suspend it? I guess that you have to hold fire. I can't see them just automatically. Whether do they take it back to, for starters, because the mega store's been shut?
Let me ask you: if you were a player for Chelsea now, how would you be feeling? Would it affect you? Do you think when you took to the pitch? Would it be in the back of your mind?
I guess it affects some players more than others, you'd have to say, because as I said, in this type of scenario where people are pulling out, obviously a lack of money, and you don't quite know what direction the club's going in terms of who owns it and things, the players are always okay. They're always going to be fine. Obviously, some players it'll mean more than others. That you'd have the likes of, say, Mason Mount, who come, Reece James, these guys who come through that youth system, that academy, it's ingrained in them. So it's going to hurt them what's happening. But you get other players that maybe have been there a year. Like, I'm not kind of throwing him under the bus, but someone like Lukaku, for instance, he supports the club, but he's only just got here. It hasn't particularly gone well for him since he's been there. So he might be like, maybe not. Maybe it might not hurt him as much as, say, Mason Mount or Reece James, or someone who's been there, like Azpilicueta, who's been there, who's captained the club for the last 10 years.
Hopefully, fingers crossed, we can hear back from Rob Harris. If you were joining us 2 minutes ago, you would have known that he's from the AP's global sports correspondent. His line dropped. Hopefully, we got him back. Hello, Rob.
Hi, good afternoon.
Right, that's much better. Listen, I don't know if you heard the question Benty asked. I'll just ask you. It was an interesting one. He said, could this be the start of many a sponsor pulling out of Chelsea Football Club?
I mean, it does raise that potential. Nike currently are on a sort of full no comment position, but effectively these are companies who are engaged in business with a sanctioned entity in Chelsea Football Club. So it makes it very difficult for them corporately to continue sponsoring the club. And if we think the only reason that the club can play on and not have to sort of almost be shut down in a way is because of this special government licence that it's been given to allow it to complete the season. But who wants their logos on a shirt around the stadium of a club that is under government sanctions over the way that the government believes it's been linked to the Kremlin?
Rob, when you talk about the number 3 on the front of the shirt, we know they're in action tonight against Norwich. Could it be removed as early as tonight, this evening?
Well, yeah, we're obviously waiting to see what they do, whether it's literally a case of putting tape across the shirts. It can be hard to get blank shirts at this stage, although they'll have known, I'd imagine, for a few hours that something like this was looming. And of course, Emma Hayes' women's team as well is playing tonight against West Ham in the WSL. So there's 2 sets of kits to try to sort out removing the 3 from them. And you can well imagine they just don't want to be seeing their logo on the shirts of Chelsea teams playing tonight.
Rob, you mentioned Nike, the kit sponsor, might feel similar. What happens if they pull out? Do Chelsea have to play their games like I used to in my school days if I forgot my gym kit just in a vest and pants? What happens?
Well, yeah, they'd have to get some sort of plain jersey to be able to play under.
Wow.
Obviously, technically need some sort of Premier League approval, changing kits in the middle of the season, I would imagine. But, given the fact we are dealing with unprecedented situations, that's the sort of least of the main issue in terms of just getting that. But it would be a hugely symbolic moment, wouldn't it? If they couldn't play in their normal kits.
That's
even.
Nuts. And do you think, I said to Benty, when the line dropped, I'll ask you though, because of course you wouldn't have heard the question, hopefully from Chelsea's perspective, their club will get sold sooner rather than later. As soon as it does, do you expect these sponsors to just come back?
Oh yeah, I could well see sponsors coming back, or the new owners obviously striking their own deals. But this is obviously current agreements that are in place. Obviously, that sale is this huge thing going forward now, isn't it? The government clearly saying that they're open to the sale proceeding if Abramovich is benefiting in no way. And the plan that was in place with this foundation that Abramovich put in would obviously have been an Abramovich foundation, even if he wasn't going to profit personally. But it does create so many questions about how this process would be overseen and who would oversee this process, because effectively it needs someone in the government to decide and assess who might own the club.
It's just nuts, isn't it? It's just going to go on and on, this story. Rob, listen, I know the news broke just moments ago, so I really appreciate you agreeing to come on to Drive on talkSPORT and have a chat with us. Much appreciated, Rob.
Good to speak, guys.
There you go, Rob Harris, as I said, AP's global sports correspondent.
Nike won't pull the plug straight away, because I've seen Nike for years with some of the high star athletes, teams.
But this is different. You've not seen it like this before.
I've not. But what I'm saying is, what I've seen Nike do in the past is kind of wait and see, go over and see what the kind of the feeling is amongst people. Because I've seen them stick with athletes where you've gone, well, how
but you're talking about an athlete.
Okay, I get that, but
this is a war that's going on.
And listen, I fully understand that, but I'm talking about I've seen them with certain individuals where you've gone, well, how can you still sponsor that person?
I know, but if you've got the shirt sponsor pulling out...
I bet they don't do it straight away. I bet they'll wait.
I can't see them waiting that long. I'll be stunned if they waited. Imagine that Chelsea don't have a
kit sponsor.
What do they wear? It's nuts.
They'll have to take the logo, just like the logo of the Nike tick will have to just come off.
They can't wear the kit of them. They can't wear the Nike kit. It's not just take the logo off. They can't wear that kit. It's provided by Nike.
They'd be able to find. But as I said, I bet Nike will wait. Nike
we shall wait and see. The story seems to get bigger and bigger moment by moment. And of course, when you hear any news, or we hear any news, you'll hear it first. So make sure you stay with talkSPORT.